There's two types of healings that goes on, in my opinion. That's a healing from past issues. So a lot of our illnesses and sickness are due to repressed issues. Emotions can be past life issues that we've carried over that we've not balanced and healed. It can be from our ancestry past that's been handed down. There's a lot of things that we are showing up in us that is from our past to be healed. Take a deep breath. Yes. HeartLight is on the move in transition and transformation. So that's what we're talking about and have been for the last few Sundays, a continuation of what it might look like to experience our next step of evolution, that we are moving from, that we're referring to as 3D to 5D. These are numbers that we use for communication purposes. There's two types of healings that goes on, in my opinion. That's a healing from past issues. So a lot of our illnesses and sickness are due to repressed issues. Emotions can be past life issues that we've carried over that we've not balanced and healed. It can be from our ancestry past that's been handed down. There's a lot of things that we are showing up in us that is from our past to be healed. But there's also an evolutionary healing. And that's what I refer to. When I was doing the work in Soul Energetics, I really felt that the people who came to those workshops to learn how to do this modality were there to assist people as light workers who are in transition of their next evolutionary step. Yes. So I taught a different consciousness of how to look at people as not sick or broken, but whole. Yes. And it takes faith to do that, because your five senses will scream at you that you are absolutely just lying about it, because it wants you to believe what your eyes see, your ears hear, and all your sensory projections that you put out. So it takes faith to get out of that sensory box and to move into a place of spiritual knowing and spiritual remembering. So I hope you understand that. There's a healing from past issues, but there's a healing that prepares us to move forward into the next step of our bio-conscious evolution, that I call it. When we refer to 3D, we're talking about sort of the assimilation. Some would call it a matrix that we have lived in. Some can refer to it as Pisces, the age of Pisces. Some can call it many different things. And it's as powerful as when we shifted from the Old Testament law into the New Testament grace, period. Now, most religious Christians believe that's the ultimate, is the Old and the New Testament. But we're here to tell you there's a new covenant. Yes. And it's not written by the pen of man, but is written by the finger of the Spirit on the tables of your heart, and not with ink. Yes. Mm-hmm. And this is a word that eye hath not seen, ear hath not heard, neither has it even entered into the hearts of those, but will enter into those who love truth. Are you a lover of truth? Yes. Are you a seeker? Yes. Are you a divine student of Earth 101? Yes. Here to learn. Not anything new, because there's nothing new to learn. There's only that which to remember you have forgotten. Yes. And that's why there's a part of our mind that is connected to the frequencies and vibrations of what we call the spirit realm or the spirit dimensions. And it has a spiritual part of itself, and it has also a physical part of itself which brings human and divine together, and it's right in the center of the wilderness of the human brain, called the pineal gland.
Yes.
The pineal gland. How many know the pineal gland is called the pineal gland because it's similar to a pine cone shape? And if you'll look all over the world to those who understand the power of the pineal gland, you'll see it all over in the face of people, and they don't even know it when they see it. It's one of the first things you're going to see at the Vatican when you go into the Vatican, what do they call that out there where they all meet? There is a big pine cone. It's on the staff of the Pope. It's in Egypt. It's all over the world. You see pine cones because they understand that the opening of the pineal gland is what connects us to divine heavenly light data that is going to map out how to navigate through the breakdown of a 3D system world. Yeah. What do I mean 3D systems? Education, religion, science, finance, medicine. Tell me one of those that's not in disarray, that is not feeling a sense of breakdown in those areas. Now, in those areas, there are those that have been planted. I call them people that are planted there, such as a medical doctor who learned the way of medical school, but now they're getting higher information and they're moving into alternative or integrative or energy work or something like that. That's happening in that group. That's why you can't throw the baby out with the bathwater and say all of this is bad and all of this is good, because the weed and the tares have grown up together in it. So one of the best things you can work with is your discernment. Yes. You've got to learn. Somebody said you need to learn how to eat the grapes but spit out the seeds. So being discerning right now is a very important of your walk of not seeing things as they appear to be, but seeing things as they are. So, wow, there's so much here that I'm trying to get to. One of the things, and I know all of you have not been here for every Sunday, although some of you may have been online every Sunday, but we have dealt with this idea of 5D being more centralized around the quantum perspective. The quantum perspective. It was not long ago that we thought the smallest thing was a cell. Isn't it interesting they call it a cell? I actually read that term came from a priest who was a scientist studying in an institution, and they went back to these little rooms where they had that little single bed and a cross at the top, and they called it a cell. So it's interesting that something is captive in the cells of your body. And Yeshua said there will be a time that when I'm made spirit.
Okay. Here we go.
Yeah, here we go. See, that's one of the greatest paradoxes. And that's the thing that I just kept noticing and watching The Chosen and all of that. They just could not figure out why he needed to go away. They wanted to hold on to his body, to his flesh, to the man Jesus. But he said, you don't understand, I have to go away. Because if I stay here in this body, I can be with you. But if you let me become spirit, I can come in you. And that's exactly what happened when they received the Holy Spirit on the day of Pentecost, was the infilling of that which had been among them was now available in them.
Yes. Yes.
So, anyway. Now, we call it the Holy Spirit. I have no trouble calling it the Holy Spirit, but it's actually an aspect of divine mind piercing the human consciousness. And we who have had that experience know what it's like to experience the penetration. You know, everybody talks about born again, born again, born again. And something said to me one day, this is many years ago, how can you be born again if you haven't been conceived again?
Woo! Okay.
I said, there's some steps missing here somewhere. So I looked it up in the Greek, and it actually said conception, gestation, and birth.
Yes.
63 years ago in a tabernacle in Tulsa, Oklahoma, I felt the penetration of divine mind into my human mind, which was a frequency my body could not hold.
Okay.
You see, my body, we can say my body was one frequency, but what came into my mind was such a high frequency that my body could not hold it, and I was gently laid down on a cold cement floor. You say, that's true. Are you kidding me? Paul was knocked off his horse when he saw the light, if you read it. The Bible says, and they lay like dead men before them. Now in Pentecost, we call it falling out in the power of the Spirit. And some of it was nonsense and some of it wasn't. There was some real things that actually happened to people that unfortunately the others wanted to copy and do it emotionally. But there was true experiences. I received that true experience of the penetration of divine seed entering into an open womb of my mind. That's how hungry I was. That my mind, my womb was so open that the seed came in and conceived. And now, again, I didn't mean to go this way. But you know, in the birth process, the most fun part is the conceiving part. We all love the conceiving part. We all love reaching that frequency of the orgasm. Stay with me. Just stay in the Spirit with me. We sure did in Pentecost. We loved orgasms. We shook and rolled and carried on. But not all times that there is a penetration does it take and conceive. Are you with me?
Yes.
Then there's the mystical time when something is so right and so aligned that the penetration brings forth a conception of the fetus.
Okay.
Now the fetus is what Paul was trying to write about when he said, I labor with you.
Okay.
I stay with you until Christ be formed in you.
Yes. Yes.
So before Christ can be formed in you, it has to be conceived in your mind. 1 John 3 and 9 in my old Amplified Bible said, and ye that have come and know you come from God cannot sin, and therefore the sperm of God has entered into you. They changed the word sperm to seed in the more modern translations, but in the one I have, it actually says the sperm of God. What we would say today is God's DNA entered into your ancestral human DNA.
Yes.
Now the church did not understand this. I remember a time in the 80s when the big thing that preachers were really onto was abortion. They were really on the abortion wagon. And I was watching one of them on TV, some well-known evangelist who was really big on this abortion thing. Now, I'm not getting into abortion. That's not what my point here. It's not political. But I was in that place that I go to, I can't explain, between heaven and earth. And something just said in me, you're looking at the biggest abortionist.
Woo. Oh, Lord.
I said, no, he's preaching against abortion. No, he is an abortionist.
Oh, my Lord.
I said, what? What? I got to tell this. I don't know why. But when I received the Holy Spirit, I immediately was yanked out of the church. I didn't want to be yanked out of the church. I loved the church. I had friends in the church. I was in the choir. I had a future in the church. But some sovereignty yanked me out of the church. Now, I had a lot of friends who also was a part of that great movement in Tulsa, who stayed in the church and ended up as non-believers, suicide, and alcoholics.
Oh, my Lord.
Some of them were gay, some of them were straight, some of them were this, some of them were that, but it was put on them. The word was used in the letter like a sword.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
It calls it that. A sword, turning between. And I realized why I got out of there is because what had been conceived in me in that experience, they would have aborted it by sticking their sword of legalism and moralism into my brain, and therefore Christ would have never been formed in me. I don't know why I have to tell you this. Word is like a sharp-edged sword, it says. So thank God if you made it out of there. I had to tell you that.
Thank you.
That I'm where I am today because I got out. I got out. All right, let's get back to where I want to get to. We thought the cell was the smallest thing, then we found out cells are made up of even smaller things, of atoms. We thought atoms were the smallest things, and then we found out atoms are made of electrons, protons, and neutrons, and we thought that was it, that's the smallest things. Then we found neutrinos, and we found quarks, and we found things even smaller, and it got smaller, and it got smaller, until finally there was nothing. But the nothing was the potential of everything. You landed point zero.
Yes.
So I believe that Yeshua was a visionary. I believe that he saw the next step. I believe the whole New Testament is coded evolution. That's why I didn't throw it away, because I wanted the code. And I never heard that term until I met Barbara Marks Hubbard many years ago, who wrote a book that the New Testament is completely coded evolution. It is moving mankind from its mammalian stage into its next stage as Homo luminous, light human. Jesus who gave us the Christ represents the divine pattern of how we do this. That's why Christ in you is the hope of your glory. Now, I'm saying things I could so get into, and I can't at this time, but I'm just telling you, we are moving deeper to go higher. We're moving in to move out. Something really big is going on at this time, and we're trying to find that. All right, let's do it, Tim. This is what I'm going to start with today. You think I hadn't even started, didn't I? There is a fifth dimension beyond that which is known to man. It is a dimension as vast as space, and as timeless as infinity. It is the middle ground between light and shadow, between science and superstition, and it lies between the pit of man's fears and the summit of his knowledge. This is the dimension of imagination. It is an area which we call the Twilight Zone. 1958 and 59, these words were spoken and put into the collective consciousness of this planet, and is now a seed that is growing and maturing and showing up, especially to us here at HeartLight, and I believe to others all over the world. Groups that we've not even heard of who are also moving that direction. I see oftentimes people on YouTube and different places like that. Again, you have to weed through it, but there's some real testimonies there of people who are moving into a whole different way of looking at life and looking at the world and so on and so forth. One of the main things that we have to realize is one of the greatest tools that will assist us into have access to what we are is opening up to us is imagination. Now, I was taught against imagination. In fact, the Bible teaches against imagination. But be careful about some of the things that they put in the Bible that they're against, that are really tools for your transformation. Mm-hmm. I keep hearing somebody's phone or somebody's. Oh, somebody's texting. Okay. All right, we're going to talk language, 5D language here for a little while. Implicate order, a non-local, non-duality level of existence from which our entire universe springs to echo in the sentiment. Every action starts from an intention in the implicate order and becomes order. This is from the Holographic Universe, one of the most powerful books that ever came into my hands that I've read for 30, 40 years. The imagination is already the creation of the form. It already has the intention and the germs of all movement needed to carry it out. In other words, in the implicate order, as in the brain itself, imagination and reality are ultimately indistinguishable, and should therefore come as no surprise as to the images in the mind can ultimately manifest in realities in the physical body. So imagination is not fantasy. Imagination is the ability to tap into the unconscious world of archetypes and symbols that show up as ways to expand our consciousness. So we have to come from the fact of what is happening and been happening for some time. Gotta get my handkerchief. That time. All new books now do not use the word universe, but multiverse. And the reason for that is because through the technology we have today, we've been to the beginning of the universe. We have seen the Big Bang. We know exactly where the universe started, and we know that eventually in millions of years the universe will end. So anything that has a beginning and an end is finite. But when we talk about something that we refer to as God, which is becoming a more and more watered down word all the time, it will eventually shift itself. God is a power word that religion uses. And when you start understanding this God thing from a more quantum level, you won't see it from a religious point of view of God. You'll see it as a field. That's going to be the new language you're going to have to learn, folks. You're going to have to learn a new language that's going to match what the experience is that we are basically having at this time. I've given you over and over since I've been here, my definition of this thing called God, and for me, is a non-local, undefinable consciousness interacting with itself. And you are the itself it's interacting with.
Amen.
I told you last Sunday, and I'm going to keep repeating these things because they're new principles, that for that which I believe is infinite. What does I mean? What's infinite? Infinite means no birth, no death, no beginning, no end. Now, how's that going to totally fit into a finite universe that has a beginning and an end? It can't do it. So that means it had to develop infinite universes to hold the infinite in finite amounts of universes. Now, to do that, it was necessary to develop a tool, a system that could allow that to happen, called a spectrum of vibration. In the book of Genesis, and God moved across the face of the deep. What in the heck does that mean? How can something move across the face of the deep? And you won't understand it until you get back into the original language, and God vibrated across the face of the deep. I don't know about you, but I know what it is to feel the vibration in my face, in the depths of my subconscious, awakening the waves of possibilities. New thought has left us with too much knowledge and not enough experience. I'm sorry, that's what's missing in New Thought, is the experience of wonderful teachings that have been important in all of our lives as a step, but the step was to experience it. Not to just activate more neurons in the brain for more intellectual knowledge. But we're looking for what? Gnosis. Direct experience from that. So, as I've said, you would have to have an infinite amount of universes. And then if you want to lower your vibration a little bit more because you're on your way, you see, you've got a point. The principle is you must descend before you become a person to ascend. That's where I don't like teachings that says you can ascend from where you are. Don't you dare ascend from where you are until you fully ended your experience of descending into this planet and this earth and this incarnations that you have dealt with and been a part of for so long. So to change the vibration, of course, changed it into an infinite amount of galaxies. Wasn't long ago we just thought there's a few galaxies, there was 7 planets. That's all gone by the wayside today. We know there's hundreds of billions of just known galaxies. That's just known galaxies. And then as it lowered itself, it became more solar in the solar plexus. The solar plex that we have connects to the solar systems that are out there, vibration and frequency, and also to the sun. Solar as sun. All of this is a great connection. Most Eastern people understand this area as the place of the soul. Now, the lower soul, the higher soul's in the heart. The lower part of the soul is in the solar plex. That's another teaching that we're not clear on, is soul. I don't think very many people know what the soul is. And they keep making it the spirit, and it's not. Well, it is the spirit at a different frequency of density. But the soul split itself. Because the word soul mainly is attached to the word psyche, psyche, psychology, mind. The Bible is clear that the mind is split. You have a carnal part of the mind, and you have a spiritual part of the mind. Now, the word carnal comes from the Latin word carne, which means carnage or fleshy, meaty. So that means a part of the soul has stayed in the identification of the body, and a part of the soul went higher and stayed with the spirit, which you call your higher self. When we say we're going to the higher self, we're going to the higher vibration of the soul that is with the spirit. You see, the need for the teaching is so needed right now. To make this huge evolutionary leap, we've got to get this thing together, and that means some correction for all of us. Me too. I have to be open for correction. Your belief system is constantly being retuned, challenged and whatever. You've got to be willing for that. And it's going to just bruise your ego, what you got of one. But that's fine, because if you've got it, it needs to let you know it's still there. Yes. That you got more to undo somewhere within you. So I did the twilight thing because he says fifth dimension is the place between light and shadow. It is the place of imagination. So now we understand things like quantum healing is different than religious healing. And that's what I started with. Religious healing is I'm broke, I'm sick, I'm diseased, I need to be fixed. Quantum healing is I'm whole, but I have forgotten that. And therefore, in the absence of remembering who I truly am, the I am that I am, I have miscreated a self that I think I am. And who's there to help you? The systems of the world. And it starts with your ancestry. That's a touchy one. But you'd be messing with my family. Nobody's family is to blame because it's been handed down and handed down and handed down, handed down. But the fact that they're the first ones to start telling you, kind of forming you, who you're going to become. And some of that has been really good, and some of it was not completely in alignment to your true identity. So everything they didn't tell you was with divine alignment with creation. But that's what their folks told them. And the sins of the fathers have been passed down to generations. And this is why we need to start there at the root chakra. If we don't get this root chakra thing taken care of, tribal thinking, that includes gender, sexuality, all of these identities that says I am not you and you are not me. It's got to be taken care of. It is the most dense and heavy thing that is holding you into the density of the world that you are dealing with, all of us, in that way. Oh, so much I want to say. I don't know how to get it out, so we'll just take this as it comes. So I was introduced to something a few years ago that I introduced to Unity of Charlotte, and some of you were there during that particular time, around 2014, 2015, that we did sessions and talks on quantum jumping. Quantum jumping. And now it's showing back around again because I think people are more ready than they were at that time. But you see, the seed was planted. Now we're going to water the seed, and God will give the increase of it in that way. So this teaching is based upon the fact that if you, the real I am that you are, is existing on infinite levels of dimensions and frequencies, just as your Creator is, because whatever's happening with our Creator is happening to us because we're a part of that Creator. You can't separate what's happening to you from what's happening and understanding Creator, who used the spectrum of vibration to bring itself to the density to finally be trapped energy called a body. Bodies are trapped energy. At one time, there was no blood in your veins. You had a high enough vibration body that all blood was light. But then the light got trapped and became blood in the human body. Why do you think the Bible's so bloody? No, you don't like that, all that blood in there. Because they didn't want to lose the fact life is in the blood. Life is in the blood. The life of the flesh is in the blood, and the life is the light of all men. It says it right there. It's so coded in the scriptures that you can raise the vibration of your bloodline. Yes. What do you think Jesus did when he gave his blood? Yes. Jesus, Yeshua, the true Son of David, listen to me, was a bloodline. They have so dumbed him down to be a poor carpenter, nowhere to lay his head. All these horrible images that they've given of him because they don't want you to know that he was a part of the bloodline. He could have reached tremendous power just because of the bloodline that he was a part of. But when the Christ in him was awakened and divine mind was awakened in him, he said, wait a minute, I'm getting, just like I got out of the church, he got out of Israel, Nazareth, and stayed away for 18 years. I'm gone. Because they're going to make me who I am by blood. Yep. But I want to become who I am by spirit. So he went into Nepal and India and learned the secrets of meditation. He learned how to influence the neurological part of us. All these things that are happening and coming forth today, Jesus was taught that in the ancient times, all the way to changing the brain chemistry and changing the neurology of the brain. He understood all those things because they were teaching that back then. And when he came back, he disguised it in ways that they could understand it, and they saw it as miracles and supernatural things. But he understood the law of the universe. He understood how to use spirit. And he said, if you will let me, I will teach you.
Yes. All right now.
But religion says, we're going to be too busy worshiping you. We're going to worship you so much and so loud we can't hear your teachings. And that's what's showing up, are those things which have been edited out and done secretly shall be revealed from the housetops. Yes. So we're going to do a jumping today. You ready? Yes. I could just go on and on and talk, but we're going to do a jumping. So I want you to get comfortable in your seat. This is based on the fact there is already a you. The jumping we're going to do today that I've chosen is abundance.
All right now. Yes.
We're going to jump into abundance. We're not going to come from lack, I don't have it, I need to get it. We're going to jump to a part of ourself at a vibration in which we are prosperous. And not just financially, that's a good one, but prosperous in health. For ye shall prosper as your soul does prosper.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So I want you to join with me in this exercise today. Get as comfortable as you possibly can. And just begin focusing on your breath. Close your eyes. For just a moment, let your mind go to your feet and lower legs. And as you do that, you will feel blood rushing into those areas as you give attention and consciousness. This is just to show you that energy follows thought. As you exhale, visualize and repeat the number 3 3 times. Imagine it on a blackboard. In fact, imagine writing the number 3 3 times. Now imagine racing the 3s, picking up a piece of chalk and writing the number 2 3 times. Erase it and write the number 1 3 times. Now we'll count down to 10 to 1, in which number you shall go deeper into a relaxed and focused state. 9, 8, 7, 6, deeper still, 5, 4, 3, even deeper, 2, 1. You are now at a pleasant, calm level of mind where you can focus completely. Remember, you are always in control and can return to full alertness anytime you wish. Each time you enter this state, mentally say, every day, in every way, I'm getting better and better. And now feel yourself improving in all areas of life as you say it. Repeat to yourself every day, my image of myself gets better. I can do anything I desire. I am unique. I am strong. I create. And now picture yourself completely at ease, eyes closed in this meditative state. Touch the tip of your tongue to the root of your mouth. Hold it for a moment. 1, 2, 3. This is your mental signal, your Dogma, which tells your mind you are setting an intention for success. And now with the power and the tool of imagination, imagine a door in front of you. An elevator door. The door is shiny and you can see your own image in the door. At the count of 3, the door will open. 1, 2, 3. And you will step in inside the elevator. In the elevator is a series of numbers of floors. Allow your mind to be drawn to one of those numbers. Without thinking, just let it pop into your consciousness. And now, the door shuts to the elevator. And the elevator moves effortlessly higher to the number of the floor that came into your consciousness. At this point, you begin to feel excited that something is about to happen. Something that's going to change your life and give you the abundance that you desire. Mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. Finally, when the elevator has come to the floor that you have chosen, the doors effortlessly open. And as you move out of the elevator, there's a door before you. The door is just cracked a little bit open, inviting you, making you feel drawn to the other side of this door. You open the door carefully, and on the other side of the door is your doppelganger, your twin self, your abundant self. As you view yourself sitting in a beautiful chair in the center of the room, you feel no worry, no concern of financial situations, for you know you've tapped in to the level to create what you need to create for your abundance financially. You feel your own worthiness to receive it. The self that's in the chair is the self that has accomplished what you think you lack, but now you know you don't. It's already been taken care of. And this is what it means. It says that God will answer before you ask. You feel your prosperity of your body. The you that you're looking at has no disease, no pain, no arthritis, no situations that this third dimension model has. Every organ is working properly. Everything is working as a body, a symphony. As you are visualizing your wholeness of yourself. The self that you have jumped to gets out of the chair and starts walking toward you. And you start walking toward that self until you merge to be one new self. Bring in the emotion and the feeling of wholeness and totality and blessing. Feel the frequency of the moment in the attitude of the moment. Feel it in the relief and the letting go of worry and concern. Receive the faith that makes those things as though they are not as though they are in this moment. And now you have merged with the new, prosperous, whole you. I want you to come back out the door into the hallway, again facing the elevator door. And this time you see yourself again in the reflection of the door, but it's a lighter you, a happier you, a worryless you. Who is that? That is the I am that I am. I am prosperous. I am whole. I am blessed. So it is. The door opens, you get into the elevator, and you come back to ground. Because you're needed in 3D. We don't want to leave you there. We want you to bring higher dimensions into your 3D experience today. Bring this moment and this lightness into your world, into your life. And know that you can do this exercise over and over again as you please. And I would suggest that you do it. You can jump into, you want to be an artist? Guess what? If that passion's in you to be an artist, that passion is coming from the fact of a self of you that's already a successful artist. You say, I can't sing, but I'd love to be singing. I'd love to do music. Jump to a you that is singing and doing music beautifully already, right now. Now, this is what we mean 5D. When we say a 5D model, I know we say, I'm whole, but we've not exactly shown you how to get to that as an experience for yourself. So today, may the vibration and the frequency be raised for all of us here at HeartLight and all of us that are in person and those of us that are online, wherever you are, wherever your space is right now. Come back to ground, the elevator door will open. Let you come back and you will be aware of your breath. Allow your breath to slowly bring you back into the environment of this room, knowing that you, for many, have taken your first quantum jump. So let's open our eyes.